It might have been a little confusing at the time, but the Avs pull off a massive overtime win in Tampa and head back home for a chance to claim the Stanley Cup on home ice.
We were able to get the win.
How a Denver restaurant is trying to keep up with Stanley Cup demand by bringing in a non-sentient server.
We did this just to help alleviate some of the labor pressures, not saving money, but to help our employees.
Plus, your utility bill is going up. Xcel Energy is set to raise prices. And the Biden administration is taking aim at oil companies, saying they need to boost production.
The fact is that no president alone can control the price of gasoline, and we need more players at the table.
Kadri! Where's the puck? How did that not go in?
It did. It did go in.
It did?
It did.
It did! He scores! Nazem Kadri!
Anticlimactic, but it was an overtime goal. The Avs win 3-2 in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final and put the Tampa Bay Lightning on the brink. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason Grenauer. The Avs are now just one win away. One win from winning the Cup, and they can win it at home tomorrow night. The Avs were down 1-0, and then they were down 2-1 during last night's game, making Game 4 the Avs' 9th comeback win in the playoffs so far this season.
It's hard to create offense against all teams, especially Tampa, 5-on-5, and you know, even when you create chances and you got to be able to beat Vasilevsky and you got to be able to beat all their D blocking shots, it's not easy.
It's going to be a heck of a Game 5 tomorrow night. The Avs have the chance to win the Cup on home ice. The two-time defending champs have their backs against the wall. Only one of the past 6 NHL champions have been crowned on home ice. That team was the Lightning last year. Now, Denver 7's Brian Sanders is in Tampa, and he recaps an exciting and just a little bit controversial Game 4.
It was a game that had all the heroics and storylines you'd expect from a Stanley Cup run. It had highs and lows, some spectacular moments and some strange ones too, but in the end, an incredible finish to Game 4 as the Avs pull out the 3-2 overtime victory here at Amalie Arena. It did not get off to a great start though. 36 seconds into the game, goalie Darcy Kuemper's mask came off and the Lightning were able to strike first. It was early in the second, though. Gabe Landeskog and Nate MacKinnon were able to tie it up with a power play goal. Early in the third, tied at 2 again with a shot that ricocheted off Andrew Cogliano's leg. And in overtime, Nazem Kadri, who hasn't played since June 4th, was able to sneak in the winning goal. Took a moment to even realize that it was trapped in the net. But this is a guy who's been out with a broken thumb for 18 days and picked quite a moment to make his comeback.
Roller coaster of emotions, you know, just thinking I was done and then, you know, having a sliver of hope and sitting here right now was it's kind of surreal. So, you know, I just was excited to join the team again and be in the dressing room. And, you know, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
And a little controversy and heated emotions after the game. Lightning head coach John Cooper argued that the overtime goal should not have counted, claiming the Avs had too many men on the ice and that Nate MacKinnon was the 6th man, could not make it to the bench in time. But after further review, the NHL officials and the 4 officials in the game confirmed that that was not the case and the goal stood. Well, we cannot forget about the composure and resilience we saw from goalie Darcy Kuemper last night. He didn't even know 24 hours ago that he was going to start the game. Obviously, he was pulled after a rough Game 3, allowing 5 goals. And fans were worried if his confidence might be shot, but he came back stronger than ever, stopping 37 out of 39 shots, and was even credited with an assist to Nazem Kadri for that game winner. According to ESPN, Kuemper is the first goalie in NHL history with an overtime assist. So hopefully that is some momentum they can use as they transfer back from Tampa to Denver to hopefully seal the deal in Game 5. As we put a big burgundy and blue bow around our coverage here in Tampa. Jason, we'll send it back to you.
Sanders, hopefully we don't head back to Tampa. Well, since the Avs have a chance to win tomorrow, that means the Stanley Cup itself will be in Ball Arena. The Stanley Cup Twitter account posted this last night after last night's game saying, quote, I'll be in the building on Friday. And if you want to be in the building, it's not going to be cheap. The cheapest seats on Ticketmaster are about $1,400 for a single seat, and that's before processing and fees. Well, thousands of Avs fans watched last night's game inside and outside of Ball Arena. Ball Arena hosted a watch party to a sold-out crowd. The Tivoli Quad also had a party. The Quad will have a watch party for Game 5. Gates open at 4. Keep in mind, max capacity there is about 10,000 people. Fans also packed McGregor Square for the game. Businesses there obviously excited to have all of that extra business. And as Denver 7's Micah Smith reports, one restaurant in the square is looking to new technology to keep up with those crowds.
Tom's Watch Bar here in McGregor Square recently unveiled a server robot. Now, this robot has the capability to do many things, but one thing that it can do in particular is very helpful for the restaurant. It can actually bring a customer's order to the table. Now, Tom's Watch Bar says, like many restaurants in the area, they're experiencing a labor shortage. And when you add in all the extra business due to the Stanley Cup final, they needed some help. So the robot is stepping in to help servers when the crowds are big and it's tough to keep up with the demand for food and drinks. We talked to Tom's Watch Bar operating partner, Rafik Tukurnovich, while engineers were programming the robot, and we asked him, will this robot eventually replace human employees? He said absolutely not. This is not a cost-saving measure, but a tool to help their employees when the restaurant is packed like it was last night. We also asked Tukurnovich if the robot will be able to move around on standing room only days, and his answer was yes. Okay, 3, 2.
Okay, so whether it's McGregor Square, Tivoli, or inside Ball Arena, or at your own watch party at your own house, remember Denver 7 is your home for the Stanley Cup final. You can watch Game 5 right here on Denver 7. Our coverage of tomorrow's Game 5 begins at 4:30 a.m., then our pregame show starts at 5:30 p.m. Puck drop is just after 6, then stay around after the game for our post-game show, which will hopefully feature a large silver cup, and then Denver 7 News at 10 o'clock. New details at 11. Aurora police arrested a 20-year-old man in connection to a street racing shooting that killed an innocent father of 3. Police say Jeremy Rocha will appear in court this afternoon. Rocha is accused of shooting and killing John Jaros along I-70 this weekend. Jaros was the assistant chief of the Glen Haven Volunteer Fire Department. Air Tracker 7 flew over his procession in Estes Park this morning. Police say Jaros and his family were innocent and not involved in that street racing. There are 2 GoFundMe accounts to help his family. One has raised more than $13,000. Your Xcel Energy bill is going up. The Denver Post reports state regulators are allowing Xcel to recover millions of dollars from a winter storm that hit Colorado in February of 2021. Now, Xcel wanted to recover about $508 million, but state regulators cut that amount to an even $500 million. Xcel said electric customers would see a monthly increase of less than $1.50 for 2 years. Natural gas customers' prices would go up by less than $6 a month for more than 2 years. It's unclear when people will see that price increase start. The White House is trying to find ways to bring down gas prices ahead of the busy summer travel season. Biden administration officials want oil companies to lower their prices. Jay O'Brien reports.
This morning, with gas prices surging, the CEOs of 7 major oil companies called to Washington to attend an emergency meeting with Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm.
The fact is that no president alone can control the price of gasoline, and we need more players at the table.
President Biden not planning on attending the meeting today after spending weeks criticizing oil companies for raking in record profits while not ramping up fuel production.
Bring down the price you are charging at the pump to reflect the cost you are paying for the product. Do it now. Do it today.
Oil executives responding. The administration's push for more green energy is making the problem worse. Chevron's CEO saying the White House is wrongly vilifying big oil. According to AAA, the national average is now just under $5 a gallon, down slightly from record highs last week. In Los Angeles, Evelyn Vargas, a mom of 4, still struggling.
We don't know what to do because the prices are increasing every single day.
The president now calling on Congress to give drivers a break and suspend the federal gas tax for 3 months, which would save drivers about 18 cents a gallon or $2.76 to fill up a 15-gallon tank.
But it will provide families some immediate relief, just a little bit of breathing room as we continue working to bring down prices for the long haul.
But Congress would need to approve the measure. And on Capitol Hill, concerns the move is facing stiff opposition from Republicans who call it a political ploy ahead of the midterm elections. Even some key Democrats not signaling support.
I'm not a yes right now, that's for sure.
President Biden is also calling on states to suspend their own gas taxes, praising states like New York, Illinois, and Colorado for either delaying or suspending their fuel tax. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
The other big story we're following from Washington, the House Select Committee will hold another hearing about the attack on the U.S. Capitol this afternoon. The committee will hear from 3 officials from the Department of Justice about how former President Trump tried to use them to keep him in power after the 2020 election. Coverage of today's hearing starts at 1. The committee is postponing 2 other hearings until July so the panel can review more evidence. Well, coming up, a popular Colorado hiking spot is ready to open for the first time in nearly a year. And it's time to celebrate Pride in Denver. We're taking a look at all the events happening this weekend.